Carl, I can't begin to tell you how badly I feel about your situation. It's such a gross, apparent miscarriage of justice that it just floors me. And what do you think would be the motivation of this woman to have made up this testimony unless it was simply falsely attributed to her?
That's what I began to think, Todd, because I never found any documents to show that she ever told this to the Secret Service. That's what the pre-sentence report alleges, that she told this to the Secret Service. It also says in the pre-sentence report that the defendant harassed Ms. Jackson's boss and vandalized his vehicle. This, it uses the word again, reportedly, led to this woman being terminated from her employment. Doesn't say what the boss's name was, doesn't say when it happened, it doesn't say, any police report to corroborate that.
Who was this woman to you?
Well, she was just living with me, and we became close for a while. I mean...
Oh, this is the same woman who was your girlfriend for a while, the one who stole stuff from you and all that. She's the one who's claiming you tried to attack her with a syringe and all that stuff?
Well, that's what the
but I mean, it's the same woman.
Yes, the same woman.
Oh,
and in the federal documents say that... See, I'm looking here at one of the paragraphs in their statement of facts, what they call it, one of the court documents, paragraph 4. Now, I'm going to show you paragraph 4 and paragraph 5. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. Paragraph 4 says, on or about December 23rd, 1998, and continuing through on or about December 28th, 1999, defendant Carl Maleskowitz Blaze, my whole name, while using a telephone in Arlington, Virginia, within the Eastern District of Virginia, knowingly and willfully did transmit a communication to injure the person of another. And then paragraph 5 says, pay attention real close, between December 23rd, 1998 and December 28th, 1998, while using a telephone in Arlington, Virginia, in the Eastern District of Virginia, Carl left approximately 35 messages on the voicemail of this woman. The messages and they're quoting out of a police report from Florida, and I tracked down the police report, which was filed December 30th, 1998. Let me get the case number here, because I reference all the case numbers to the original document, and the original report says almost the same thing, except a few things are different. Let me find it here.
Well, you hadn't left 35 messages, surely.
The misdemeanor, it says classification misdemeanor, State of Florida versus Carl William Maleskowitz Blaze, case number, let me see, case number 98362247, St. Johns County. Then it says unlawfully left approximately 35 messages. And then on the prosecutor's document filed by Assistant State Attorney Brian Shorstein from the 7th Judicial Circuit, says that in that Carl William Maleskowitz Blaze on or between the December 23rd and the 28th day of December 1998 within St. Johns County, Florida, did then and there unlawfully make a telephone call to a location at which the person receiving the call had a reasonable expectation of privacy and did during such call make a comment, request, suggestion, or proposal which was obscene, lewd, lascivious, filthy, vulgar, or indecent, and did thereby intend to offend, annoy, abuse, or harass any person at the called number. To wit, the defendant made repeated calls harassing the victim. And that's a misdemeanor. When the feds copied it, they copied it almost word for word, except that they said that the incident took place in Arlington, Virginia, and they also said that it took on the same date. So what basically the state documents show that the calls took place in Florida between a 5-day period, but the feds alleged that the same incident for the same 5 days took place in Virginia. So I basically would have been in 2 places at the same time and committed the same crime twice in 2 different locations at the same time.
Let me tell you something, Carl. When they had the trial in April of 2006 to determine the punishment for Zacharias Masalia, the alleged 20th hijacker, on the grounds that if he had come forward about his involvement in 9/11 that they might have been able to save lives, they were actually trying him to punish him for a crime of which he had not been convicted and which he denied being involved in a year before. In April of 2005, he was found guilty of a plot to try to free the blind sheik involved in the attempt to blow up the World Trade Center in 1993. He denied having anything to do with 9/11, and yet the federal prosecutors played a shell game. They waited for a year to have this punishment trial. They put him a 50,000-volt stun belt on this guy, and they played a complete charade, a complete political trial. I mean, you'd think we're living in the middle of the Soviet Union. And what's happened to you seems to me to be very similar, that this is a political charade based on what appears to be fabricated evidence.
Yeah, I mean, I was locked up in the same jail in the housing unit in the 3rd floor where Moussaoui was in 2001, because he came there around December 2001. I left the Alexandria jail and went to the federal facility, and I believe it was February or March of 2002, and I had the same prosecutor that Moussaoui had. So, I mean...
Really?
Yes, Paul McNulty, who was later appointed by Bush as Deputy Attorney General of the United States under Gonzales.
Yes.
And I see there's a pattern here, a consistent pattern where people who speak out against the administration, they'd either get them arrested on charges or get them basically this allegations of Spitzer and his prostitute. And I don't know, maybe it is some sort of pattern. Because if he was exposing them, they turn around and now he has these accusations. Maybe there is something to it.
Well, the Joe Wilson Valerie Plame case is so stunning because it contradicts any pretensions to being the security president. I mean, this man doesn't even grasp that he took a solemn oath to support, defend, and protect the Constitution of the United States from all enemies, foreign and domestic. The Constitution. He says his first responsibility is protecting the American people. That's false.
No.
His first responsibility is upholding the Constitution, and all else follows from that.
And also, if I want to give out my lawyer's phone number, if anybody would, or want my legal team's phone number, if anyone's interested.
Go right ahead.
Get a hold of Mr. Kenneth Fernandez or Mr. Stuart Isvanfi. Last name is I as in India, S as in Sierra, T as in Tango, V as in Victor, A as in Alpha, N as in November, double F as in Foxtrot, Y as in Yankee. First name Stewart, S-T-E-W-A-R-T. The number is area code 450-623-6413. And
repeat that. 623.
6413.
6413.
And we're working.
Area code again?
Area code 450.
Well.
And he can, we're getting these documents. We're going to start posting these online where people can look at the exhibits.
Carl, I think you have to write up your experiences. This is so horrifying. I think if you can write it up and get it out and get it published, and I think your experience is hair-raising. It's absolutely appalling. I can't believe that the United States has sunk to this low level. I mean, this is such a crude operation.
And I've come here to Canada.
I can't see any more reasonable explanation than that this is simply the juvenile, punitive, immature attitude for vicious retaliation by the Bush administration, any criticism, high or low.
I have other stuff that I want to get posted online here, and I'm trying to have somebody working on it, and
well, don't give us all your game plan, Carl, because they may try to interfere with it. But I just want to tell you how much I appreciate your coming on to tell your story, and I think it's very important that you make records, that you write this up, and that you do everything you can to get it disseminated, because this is...
I've come here to Canada to claim asylum because of 6 years of prison and 3 years of probation, and basically they're treating me as a criminal here, and they're totally ignoring the facts. They're taking them at face value, even though we presented exhibits and we've gotten witnesses to provide affidavits.
Thank you for coming on the show. I look forward to talking to you again, and I want to wish you all the best luck possible. I'm very sorry you're going through all this. It appears to be a gross miscarriage of justice for political purposes. Good luck to you, Carl. Good luck to you. Thank you for coming on the show.
All right.
This is Jim Fetzer, your host on the Dynamic Duo. Thank you all for listening.